It has been a crazy week with LA Laker hoops, and we are ready to talk nothing but purple and gold. Welcome to Lakers React, where we come to you, the Lakers fans, to discuss our LA Lakers. My name is Rochelle, and thanks for stopping by as we talk about this week's news, game highlights, and more surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. Each week, joining me, I have my buddy right here, Frankie, in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm good, lady. Definitely ready to get this party started with all of the conversations and feedback that I've seen online regarding our Los Angeles Lakers. Now, like you said before, oh yes, it has been a crazy week in the news to say the least, with fans getting love and players showing love, and it's all over the board. We've got you covered though.
Right.
If you don't know how we roll at Lakers React, each week we post questions and comments online through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. This is where you can get involved with comments that we may share here on Lakers React. So with that said, let's react.
The beginning of the week was less than kind to the Lakers for sure. Now we have to chill, okay? No LeBron along with hurt veterans have been a challenge. Going deeper, developing chemistry and teamwork is always a challenge. Whether you have a team built on veterans or a mixture of veterans and youth.
Preach.
So expecting the Lakers to come out smoking hot was not something even I imagined. Would you agree?
Well, of course I have my pie in the sky Laker ambitions, but realistically, I would be just happy if they made the playoffs this year.
Right.
I know the Lakers have that sentiment that it should be championship or bust, but when you look at the current roster, you have to be realistic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you on that. But I also have to say I want to see development. And one more thing that worries me is that the young core may lean too much on veteran leadership. For example, after the Dallas win, Lonzo Ball made a comment to the media stating, "It starts with us, especially when LeBron and Rajon Rondo are out. We're going to come out ready to play and get the whole team going. They'll feed off of that." Now, that is what I like to hear. But what are your thoughts, Frankie?
I like the comments. The main thing for me is whether LeBron, Rondo, the rest of the veteran leadership are there or not, they should be aggressive at all times. The last thing I want to see is them being hesitant once LeBron enters the lineup, because they are worried he might feel some type of way about them getting buckets.
Right. I definitely agree with you on that. Worrying about LeBron is something you should have on your mind to get your teammates involved. But when it comes to what I want to see from this year's squad, it's definitely Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball being aggressive at all times, whether the vets are on the court or not.
Right. So let's hit the pause. But there are some stories that we'll come to a little bit later about the young core doing their thing this week. All right?
Okay.
All right, lady. So the next story, I just got to break down a little on how the fellas get sometimes.
Okay.
You see, when competition is high and egos and tempers are flaring, you never know what might go on in game time action.
Okay, I understand that.
It's especially crazy and gets escalated when you are playing the game of basketball and your competition is seriously beating you down. Not just losing by 5 or 10 points, but they seriously whooping that butt.
I definitely understand that.
So if you're with me up until that point, then you should understand this next story regarding Michael Beasley finally returning to the floor for game time action against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is where many fans got a taste of Michael Beasley's temper up close and personal as he was ready to go in on Karl Anthony Towns, simply saying, "I'm going to blank him up."
Oh,
And
yeah.
it wasn't no blank. It was something
it was a
kinda
real
nasty.
thing, right?
Right.
Yes, I saw that, and I can definitely see that with a player like Michael Beasley going up against Cat.
Right.
From what I've seen from him in the league, he gives, that D'Angelo Russell vibe where a lot of players just don't like that ticky-tacky stuff. I mean, just think about it. We had a confrontation with Jimmy Butler a few weeks ago.
Right.
So I guess competition totally makes sense.
Right. So, I mean, I'm never the one that would promote violence.
Right.
But when seeing this on the court, we asked a few of you what your thoughts were, and comments came in like this. First off, we had Michael commenting, "Cat looks scared."
That, I can see that. But then again, he always has that wacky look on his face.
You're right. The goofy Urkel, did I do that look?
Right.
Anyway, up next, we had a comment from Raven with, "Cat don't want to no smoke."
Okay.
I definitely feel you on that one because Michael Beasley was fuming hot. Finally, with the last comment from Jarman, he chimed in saying, "LeBron's smoke crew." Well, it'll be interesting to see the next time the Lakers face the Timberwolves if that smoke will continue. But for now, we can only hope that at least the next time we see the Timberwolves, we will be on the winning side of the scoreboard.
I'm a little lost. What are we smoking?
And on that note, it's time to move on.
Oh, what did I say? What did I say wrong?
Girl, you really need to get out with me and my folks a little bit more often. That's all I'm saying.
I guess to learn about that smoke.
Just leave it alone.
Okay. Of course, as a fan of the purple and gold, it is easy to think nothing but basketball. But beyond the court, when our stars step up in the communities, it feels good to see them making a difference.
Right.
Now, where I am going with this story that I had followed personally, taking place in Houston, Texas, where sadly the life of 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes was taken way too soon. This story made national news due to mistaken identity when looking for the initial suspect. Although this case is still in the hands of the courts with suspects in custody, the fallout of a family having to bury this beautiful little girl is heartbreaking. Fortunately for one of the Lakers Hall of Famer, he couldn't stand by and just do nothing in the Barnes family time of need. That is where TMZ Sports reported that Shaquille O'Neal stepped up to pay for the funeral expenses for Jasmine's funeral. In a quote from Shaq, he said, "With something that terrible to have happened, I don't want people to have to worry about trying to raise a few thousand to pay for a funeral," O'Neal said. "I'm always in Houston. I've been living in Houston for 20 years, so I just thought it was the right thing to do." It just goes to show you that the big fella has a big heart, and condolences go out to the Barnes family in their time of need. Bruh, I am so excited that the All-Star game is almost here.
You and me both. Hey, if you haven't been paying attention, this year the All-Star game is in Charlotte, North Carolina.
They are making it come back to Michael Jordan country.
Well, forget Michael Jordan country. It reminded me. Remember how we were watching The Wood? I don't know if you ever seen The Wood. With Big Mike, he came from North Carolina.
North Carolina
with that Carolina Crip Blue and Blood Country. Anyway, we
Winston-Salem, I think it was.
We digress. Winston-Salem, right? But anyway, voting has already begun.
Now, I know you got to please tell me we got some good news with the purple and gold getting in on these top vote getters.
Yes, lady, and I do have some good news with the second round of the numbers being released, with the Lakers being well represented.
Well, I mean, look, of course, LeBron has to be getting votes, right?
Of course he is, but not just LeBron is putting up numbers.
Okay.
The young core is in the mix as well.
All right. Make it all come back in.
Now, breaking down the numbers for the Western Conference, LeBron is still holding steady with 2.7 million. Should I say million or should I say million votes so far, leading all players in the West and the East. Now, surprisingly enough, in the Western Conference, front court vote getter Kyle Kuzma is showing 8th in all-star voting.
All right, come on.
And
Kuz.
Western Conference guards is repped by Lonzo Ball.
Big baller.
At 8th as well.
Yep.
So,
well,
yeah.
I'm feeling that. I'm definitely feeling that. Now, that is what I'm talking about right there. Okay. Now, listen to this. What we all need you to do is get out there and vote.
Get out and
now,
vote.
I would love to see the Western Conference front court littered with ballers repping that purple and gold. So we need y'all to represent.
Backcourt too. And I feel you, sis. So we need everybody in Worldwide Laker Gang, everybody out there repping. You get out and vote.
Right.
Fans still have days to help their favorite players secure a spot on the 2019 All-Star roster, and voting closes January 21st at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time, which out here on the West Coast is at 10. I think it's 8:59. Yeah,
Is it 8:59?
We doing way too much counting.
Yeah.
But we do need you to get out and vote for our purple and gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming from an era where players were slammed to the floor and guards were basically assaulted as a norm, adjusting to the softer play in today's NBA is an adjustment.
Right.
For example, night in and night out, when average to star players are having 40-plus point games a night, it can be boring. Now, when I say that, I love the play that I saw on Monday night from Josh Hart facing the Dallas Mavericks. Although the first half of hoops was awful. This was one of those days I thank my Laker-loving life that I stuck around to watch the second half.
Now, you are getting ready to talk about Josh Hart. I feel you on that.
Right. So the hype around rookie Luka Doncic has been at fever pitch, including our own LeBron James saying he wouldn't mind playing with him.
Okay.
The challenges with Luka, is he legit or just a product of a softer league?
Well, Josh definitely put Luka to the test in the second half, where the refs let the boys play and he shut it down.
Right. So Josh came in on a mission, even commenting post-game by saying, I wanted to pick him up full and see what his dog was. Hart said that was the biggest thing. He had a couple of tough shots, and obviously I was happy with that. I don't really care. I just wanted to see what his dog was. And I just knew, just get up in him, be physical with him, and see what happens.
Smack talking, okay?
I wish Josh Hart, I saw the clip, what I'm saying. I just wanted to, get up in him. be physical.
He had to get hood with it,
and see what happens. See how I go. Damn. That's what he should have said.
Right.
But anyway, now that's definitely my style of hoops, and I definitely love the physical play and aggression that Hart brings night in and night out.
Yes, sir. Okay, now looking back to Wednesday night, the Lakers would have an old rival in a new uniform visiting the Staples as Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons were in town.
I don't care what uniform he's in. Blake will always be a Clipper to me.
So you're telling me anytime we play the Rockets with Chris Paul, the Mavericks with DeAndre, or the Pistons with Blake, you feeling some type of way?
Hell yeah. They'll always have that high side, no ring getting, fake banner having, Clipper blood in my book. I'm just saying.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel then?
I'm just saying. I enjoyed the Lakers getting that win in back-to-back games over ex-Clippers.
Oh, wow. Well, then I am sure you enjoyed the 41-point performance by Kyle Kuz that night.
Yes, I did. 41 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Now, that's a baby mamba right there getting buckets.
That he did, highlighting one person. He's a top vote getter in the All-Star votes.
Right.
Helping the Lakers secure the victory that night also was Michael Beasley.
Okay.
In post-game comments, Beasley said, if I'm a great scorer, Kuz is scary. Confidence is key for Kuzma. He took a lot of shots that a lot of guys wouldn't look at, especially the threes. Beasley said, as long as he keeps his foot on the gas,
Gas,
you feel me?
gas,
You feel me?
brake,
Gas brake,
gas brake,
you feel me? As long as he keeps his foot on the gas, the sky is the limit.
And we enjoyed hanging out with you this week. Any final words, lady?
Well, of course, with me, I am always going to remind you to keep repping that purple and gold. And also, we love to hear from you guys online. Lakers React is all about the fans and how you feel about our Los Angeles Lakers. So feel free to comment as we post throughout the week on Facebook, on our fan page, Instagram, and Twitter with the handle at Lakers React. There, if you'd like to get in on the discussion and get involved, Whether voting on a topic or leaving your comments, we bring those back each week here on Friday, our Friday wrap-up, to share our love for the purple and gold, baby.